Hello, Jack.
Hi, Lee.
How are you?
Whoa.
I wonder if Jack can predict everything that I'm saying.
Probably not.
No,
No.
this is a bit of an unusual intro for us.
It is. Welcome back, everyone. My name's Jack Jump. Back here again on the Liam Huser YouTube channel. Thank you again so much for having me on today, and as for as many time as you have.
You know, I think I'm finally starting to realize you and I make a pretty good team.
I think we do make a pretty good team, and I want to say one thing to every single person that's watching this right now.
Okay.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving.
'Tis the season to be thankful. Thanksgiving is tomorrow. Liam, what do you think before this Thanksgiving season?
Well, I'm thankful for you coming on the show. I know that a lot of people don't like when you're on my YouTube channel.
A lot of people.
A lot of people don't.
Yeah.
But I'm thankful that you're persistent and keep doing it anyway.
You know, I don't care what they have to say, because I'm thankful for a few things. One of those is my sunglasses on my head. Another one is this big, huge water bottle. There's a picture of a goat on it. And third and foremost is hard rock and roll, Lee. And that brings us to the topic of the video
Oh
today.
yeah, baby. So yeah, I guess I guess it's fair to say that we're doing AC/DC Highway to Hell this week. This is our sixth episode. Yeah, sixth episode. Is this the first hard rock record we've done?
I would say so.
It's also the first 1970s album we've done.
If you're counting this series, yes, it is. But if you're counting all the music we've listened to, it's no for both, I believe.
Yeah.
Maybe it's certainly no for 70s. I don't think we've done any hard rock though before this.
So we did what we done. We did In Rainbows, Crosby, Stills and Nash, Love, REM, and Pixies. So no, I guess elements of it here and there, but.
Well, I'm talking about if you count our other series that we don't talk about here.
Yeah. We did Led Zeppelin. And
then we do it both.
Yeah.
Oh, we did do that. Yeah, okay. Forgot about Led Zeppelin. Yeah, so, the secret's out. We're doing Highway to Hell, AC/DC. And I also have another little secret to share. Liam, we became friends and really met and bonded very much through the power of hard rock and roll. We are hard rock fellas. I don't want to speak for you, but I think it's safe to say that we are hard rock fellas.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to say if there's like one genre of music, I think Jack and I both like a lot of different styles and artists, but hard rock is definitely the most important to me, to my life.
Probably me as well.
Yeah, I mean, and kind of like classic rock, I guess, too, but like
classic
more
/
specific,
hard rock.
it was bands like Led Zeppelin, AC/DC. I mean, really, those are two of the biggest ones. Sabbath, early on, Guns N' Roses, too.
Yeah.
Thin Lizzy, Aerosmith, all those types of bands. So, yeah, I mean, AC/DC, Highway to Hell, is this your first time listening to this one all the way through?
All the way through, like sitting down and listening to all the way through, yes, it is.
Okay.
I had heard all the songs on it, only a few. There was a few that I only heard once, and didn't really know that well, but I had heard all of them. But this is the first time I sat down and listened to it all the way through.
Yeah, so, I mean, for me, AC/DC were probably the first band I really fell in love with. I loved music before then, but I discovered AC/DC. I heard Back in Black, that album, and I was like, whoa, these guys are nuts. And then I got like the greatest hits and discovered more of the later stuff, and of course, Bon Scott stuff. Bon Scott, who is the singer on this album. I just fell in love with them in that style. And I alluded to this at the end of the last video. For me, this was like, I never heard anything like this before, really. Outside of like in movies or whatever. But
yeah,
I was like, oh my God, this is like heavy metal.
It was like, yeah, it's
heavy.
heavy.
I don't know anything before this.
Right.
And of course, being a metalhead now, would you say that this is, do you say they're metal?
I would not say they're metal, because I feel like metal has a certain vibe of like despair.
Yeah.
Or like, oh, shit's bad. And this is like, hell yeah, let's drink a beer.
Yeah, it's certainly adjacent to metal, and
Yeah.
probably one of the most important artists to the genre of heavy metal. I would say.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, they're up there. They definitely influenced a lot of it.
Yeah, if you're talking in terms of influence, yeah, I would say so.
But yeah, I mean, this is their last time with Bon Scott. I want to say this is their
Friend of the show, by the way.
friend of the show. Rest in
Rest
peace.
in peace.
I'll say this is their. Let me think here. This is their 5th American album, and I think their 6th Australian album. Because did you know that about them? That their first 2 were Australian only releases, and then they were combined together. Tracks from both and made into High Voltage, which is
their first American.
Which was most of their second Australian album, which was called TNT, and then songs from their first album, which was also called High Voltage, but was a completely different album.
I did not know that, but I believe it because I've heard that Australia is a little, not like super, selective about what they do and don't export in terms of cultural stuff.
I also want to say Let There Be Rock and Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap were Australian originally, then there was an American. And Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap I don't think came out in America until after Back in Black, and I think they were like they're like, okay, let's put this one out now.
Yeah.
It's a Bon Scott album, obviously. But yeah, I've mentioned, what AC/DC means to me. I don't really know how far you go back with these guys. What is this band to you?
So AC/DC is kind of a weird band to me. They certainly don't mean as much to me as they do to you, but that does not mean I don't like them. In fact, I do like AC/DC a lot. But they were always kind of one of those bands that was kind of always just in the background, I think, for me. Obviously they have huge mega hits and they are unbelievably popular and successful and all that stuff, but I never really got super into them. It was always just kind of damn, these boys can rock, but there really wasn't too much beneath that to me. But again, that's not to say oh, there was no intellectual merit to it, blah, blah, blah. I am super down for music that slaps just for the sake of it slapping,
Yeah.
But I don't know, I always just kind of gravitated towards other bands, especially I think because I really started paying attention to rock and roll as a drummer. And, the drums in AC/DC are not necessarily, they're good to learn, but then after that it's you kind of want to try something a little bit more fun. No shade to Phil Rudd.
Yeah, Phil Rudd.
Phil Rudd. No shade to him. Or was it Chris Slade?
Yeah, he was the guy who came on during Thunderstruck era. And there was a guy before that. Phil Rudd has been in and out a few times. Yeah. But
no shade to either of them. They made unbelievable amounts of money just doing 2 and 4, and good for them. But I was always more interested in other bands that were a little bit more fun on the drums, so they kind of fell by the wayside. But so I was excited to do this album because it was kind of one, like I said, I'd never heard it before all the way through, so I was excited to do that, and I guess we're going to have to see how we thought about it.
Yeah, I think that's a common criticism AC/DC get, is that there's not a lot to them. And I think sometimes, I won't get into that too much actually until after the video, but yeah, specifically the rhythm section, the bass and drums, but I guess I won't probably get into that until after the video.
Yeah, let's get into it and then we can talk a little bit more about that.
But yeah, man, they're very popular. I was also excited to do this one because, I've heard this album. I've heard all their albums, and Bon Scott ones a lot. The original ones, from the first album up until Back in Black, and then For Those About to Rock and Flick the Switch came after that, which I also like a lot. And they have good stuff throughout their whole career, I think. So yeah, I guess you want to get into it.
Yeah, sorry, I just got a hangnail out. It was bugging me. Let's get into it.
Who do you want to start?
Why don't you start?
All right, so the first track, Highway to Hell.
Never heard it before.
Yeah, I've heard this album all the way through before, so I knew all these songs very well. And this was the first song I really truly learned on guitar. Was the main riff to this, and yeah, man, it's a hell of a opening track. It's become kind of bigger than the band itself. Even I would argue, like this is an all time.
Yeah, the only reason I don't know if I would necessarily agree with that is because the band itself is so big. Like AC/DC, I was thinking about it. They're pretty easily, I would say, a top 5 band in terms of popularity of all time.
Oh yeah,
Like they are massive, and that's kind of what I was saying. Like, or I guess alluding to a little bit earlier is like they are like much more than the sum of their parts, if that makes sense. Like each member of the band, and this I think you said was kind of intentional. They are not really like famous necessarily, like in terms of like if you compare them to like like Freddie Mercury or
the Queen guys,
or the Queen guy, yeah, the Queen guys, or the Stones or anything like that. Like they are nowhere
they
near
don't
as
do
famous.
interviews really.
Yeah,
You can find though a good bit from this era when they were kind of coming up.
yeah,
So yeah, I guess it's also before I continue, it's probably important to note that this was, I think, their big break in America. This album, I think they were kind of grinding out the local circuits before, and then this one put them into superstardom. I think they were touring a lot. I think their biggest contemporary at the time was Van Halen. I think they were kind of both coming up together, although AC/DC had been around a few years longer. But I think they both started breaking at the same time, which would have been a cool time to. They toured. They toured together, and from what I understand, like Van Halen were like destroying all the older rock bands, but the only one that was keeping up with them was AC/DC as far as their live show went.
Fun fact, Liam, about my family.
Oh.
The first concert my dad ever went to was AC/DC opening up for Kiss.
Wow. Bon Scott?
Yep, Bon Scott.
Wow.
He said the ticket was $5.
Damn. That's pretty cool. You got to see Bon Scott live.
He got to see Randy Rhoads too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn. That's pretty sick. Yeah.
Saw Black Sabbath with Ozzy and Dio.
Oh, that's pretty
Shout out to Papa John.
Yeah, man. But it is kind of sad though, man, because like we talk about like all these guys, how we both love hard rock, but like of all those people you mentioned, like Randy Rhoads and Bon Scott died very young, which is horrible. But also like Ozzy and Dio both are dead now.
They are.
Dio died a while ago, but he was not young at all. He was older, and then Ozzy just died, and it's just like, damn.
Yeah.
I mean, well, there will be bands making this type of music forever, but I don't know that we'll ever see an artist like Ozzy or Dio or Randy Rhoads or like where they're just so themselves. They're not trying to like playing to these cliches. They just are. They created that, and they became so iconic.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like who. Maybe that would be like I don't know why, but like Metallica kind of comes to mind of like people that are out now.
Yeah, Metallica are one of the biggest bands ever.
That kind of did that, or like even like other genres. I'm trying to think. Maybe like this is a crazy comparison, but kind of like Kanye West kind of also did that in a way different way.
Yeah,
like in an unbelievably different way, but he kind of did the same thing. All right, let's get back to the track.
Yeah, well, there's one more thing I wanted to say, though.
Oh, yeah.
This is also their first album not produced by one of their brothers, George Young. It's Robert Mutt Lange, who went on to be a huge producer. He did this. He did Back in Black.
Right there, you could fucking retire.
Yeah, you can retire right there.
He
later on, he went and did, I think he did The Cars, Heartbeat City, which was a huge album. That's got like Drive on there and Do You Believe in Magic, I think is what the song's called.
Yeah.
But it's a huge album. Then he did Pyromania and Hysteria from Def Leppard. So he was kind of a pioneer of like cutting edge production. In the end, he did Shania Twain, and I think he married her. So good for him. But that's sweet. But
we're big fans of a love story here.
Yeah, we certainly are. But so that's interesting because I think it shows in the production here. I mean, this song sounds great right off the bat.
Oh yeah.
I really like how there is just one guitar. I love how the verse is just very simple, one guitar. I want to say it's probably Angus playing it. And you can really hear well how the guitars are panned on this album. It's like, okay, this here is Angus, and then Malcolm's on the other side. I think is pretty neat to hear their interplay. And right off the bat, as soon as Phil Rudd comes in, this song, and I think better than any song in their catalog, demonstrates the power of the Phil Rudd as just his simplicity, how he was able to drive these songs, just like a human metronome kind of a guy.
Yeah.
Because you got to figure these guys probably weren't recording to a click. And
probably not.
the lyrics on this song, I think, are phenomenal. The living easy, loving free, season ticket on a one-way ride. Just badass lyrics from Bon Scott. Great vocal performance from Bon Scott, too. It's got $1 million chorus on it. It's a great solo. Nothing crazy from Angus Young here. Angus really, I think, knows really well when to kind of... He never overplays. He never overplays, Angus Young. He can certainly be flashy, but he doesn't overplay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I like this song a hell of a lot, Jack.
I think there was another album, I could be wrong. There was another album review we did. I will not even begin to be able to remember it. Where I said it was super formulaic. But that's not necessarily inherently a bad thing. There's examples of where formulaic can be good. And I feel like AC/DC is pretty much an example of they had a formula, but god damn, it worked. This is like maybe one of the cleanest examples of like a 10 out of 10 song I've ever heard in my life. Like this is just like if an alien race were to come down and be like, show me what you think like a 10 out of 10 song is, and you pulled this one out, I would be like, I'm fine with that. Like that, like you said, it is produced very, very well, but it's simple, but it is effective as hell. And I really have a great respect for musicians that can do that. And I think this is kind of that to a T. Like it is pretty easy to do, in all honesty. Maybe not easy to pull off as well as they do. But like to do like a serviceable cover of this song, it's not hard, but like this is such a good song. Like this is such a good song, especially like you said lyrically. Bon Scott is one of my favorite singers of all time, and I think he does a really good job here as well. First of all, I want to preface, I'm going to call him Paul Rudd at one point on accident. It's gonna happen, so I'm just gonna get out of the way now. Phil Rudd. I'm gonna give a little bit of a spoiler about what I think about the album, Liam. I've said to you, I know many times, where I'm like, I don't appreciate his drumming because I'm like, there's not one song where you could have done like a little something else. After listening to this album all the way through, I don't think that anymore.
Wow.
I'm a Phil Rudd apologist
I
now.
won't lie. I was kind of dreading going to this because I'm not ready to hear your Phil Rudd takes. And is Phil Rudd is he a Bonham? And
Listen, yeah.
And
No, he's not.
I have been a Phil Rudd apologist for years.
I think, and again, this is a little bit of a spoiler for the album. I think he plays to a T perfectly.
Completely agree. And Cliff Williams as well.
Unbelievable. I do agree with that, but there's one song in particular I'm gonna comment on him a little bit later. But
I know exactly what song it is.
But yeah, after I was completely ready to go on this album and be like, God, Phil Rudd, come on. But then I was like, all right, goddamn, he knew exactly when to, because like he also showed enough that like he could do it. Like
that's what I think is genius about it. It's not that he's a shitty drummer.
No, he's not.
He just doesn't give a shit.
And again, like you said, like he's not like Bonham or anything, but he's not he's not trying to be.
Yeah.
And B, it's perfect for the song. It is perfect for AC/DC. So, as they say, I apologize, Mr. Rudd. I was not familiar with your game.
Yeah. How many AC/DC albums do you know all the way through?
High Voltage. I've heard High Voltage all the way through. I've heard Let There Be Rock. Let There Be Rock is my favorite that I've heard all the way through. And now Highway to Hell. But that's all that I've heard all the way through.
Yeah. So next song then is Girls Got Rhythm or Girl Got Rhythm?
I believe Girls, but let me double check. Girls.
Yeah. This one is a pretty different feel, I think, from Highway to Hell. Highway to Hell is it's not like a dark song, but it's kind of a little bit, there's something
it's cool,
angry about it. That song is about kind of like being a road warrior in a band. Like that's
Yeah.
what that song is about. And this song is just really bouncy and fun, cool guitar interplay from Malcolm and Angus. And yeah, I mean, Bon Scott's vocals on this are phenomenal on this song, and I think maybe they don't get enough credit for kind of just being able to be. This is like a very bouncy, fun kind of song. By the way, killer background vocals on this song. From it sounds like it's Bon Scott doing the background vocals on this one, but yeah, I like this one a lot. Another really great solo from Angus. I mean, honestly, the guy doesn't play a bad part on the guitar ever. Angus Young and Malcolm too. Obviously, Angus is doing a little more. Well, he's doing all the soloing, and Malcolm is just kind of driving the song. Yeah. He's driving the song, and it's a really fun song. I love the vocals on this one. I think this album might be Bon Scott's best vocal album. He really is he's just going for it here on this album, but it's not cheesy though. He just sells it so well. So I like Girls Got Rhythm a lot.
Okay, so Girls Got Rhythm. I agree for the most part. I think the riff, like this is a killer riff. And that's another question maybe I'll ask right now. Where would you, not getting super into it, so we can move on to other songs, but where would you rank, I guess, the Young Brothers in terms of all-time riff writers?
Well, I did a video on that.
Oh, you're right, you did.
And they were in 4th place.
Who's ahead of them?
Jimmy Page, Keith Richards, and Tony Iommi. So I'd say they're amongst the best.
Wow. I was going to say, I don't know if I can name 3 better, but those are 3 pretty good ones. Honestly, in terms of riffs, I might put him above Jimmy Page.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't argue
just
that.
In terms of, like, every song, it's just like, God damn. But, yeah, no. Another thing I was going to say, throughout the album, there's another one. I think the next one, actually. Let me just double check. Yeah, the next one. Is a much better example, but their background vocals throughout this album are really impressive too. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
Their background vocals were cool. The only problem I have with this song is I think it went on maybe a half a verse too long. Like I was towards the end, I was kind of like, all right, I get it.
Yeah.
Girls Got Rhythm, sure, I understand. Yeah. But I mean, other than that, that's a very nitpick thing. Especially following, I think, one of the best rock songs ever.
Right, it's incredibly hard to follow.
Yeah,
that.
very hard. It's basically impossible to follow.
But I like that they switched the vibe on this one. This is a fun one. This is just such a great windows down. This is a good summertime album.
It is a good summer. God, you're right.
Yeah, it's great. So they're a good like summertime band.
They are a good summertime band,
especially this era. I do think that AC/DC changed a little bit when they. I mean, later in their career. I mean, they'd come out with a lot of albums. They'd been around for a while. They kind of became more of a caricature of themselves to an extent. Not saying, like I said, I don't think it's bad. It's certainly not as good as their early stuff. But yeah, I like this song. I feel like I didn't appreciate this one as much as when I was younger. But now I'm like, yeah, this is not even close to being a filler track. It's a great song. Killer riff. Man,
killer riff.
Yeah, you're right, man. I mean, they're one of the best riff writers ever. And yeah, if you say they're the best, I mean, I'm not going to argue with you. I mean, they had it down to a science. And they just knew how to keep it so simple. But I tell that to a lot of musicians, is sometimes simple is good.
Less is more, baby.
Yeah, not everybody is meant to be a virtuoso. Those guys occupy a very small amount of musicians, and you're probably not one of them. So
yeah,
just keep it simple.
Yeah.
So
next is Walk All Over You.
Yeah, I've always known this one. This is a damn classic. This has a great, all-time great rock song intro.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and this is Phil Rudd's moment on the album. He's really good at making a drum. Like Shoot to Thrill comes to mind too.
Shoot to Thrill is a good song. He's
just like staying back, but he's doing just enough. Yeah. This song makes me want to drive and break the speedometer in my car.
Oh yeah.
This song is great, and I like that it's got a longer intro to it. It's got a great guitar riff. Angus and Malcolm, I don't know how much you noticed this, but their guitar tones are one of the best guitar sounds ever.
I did notice that.
I mean, so, once again, so simple, but damn, it's just guitar amps cranked up.
Yeah.
Maximum Marshall amplifier. Just back then they used these amps called Marshall like super leads is probably what they use, and there wasn't a distortion knob back then. It was a volume, and you just cranked that sucker. You just cranked everything, and that's how you got the sound. But Mutt Lange was able to capture it so well. He makes them sound so good, and their guitars sound just different enough from each other that you know who's playing what, and they complement each other so well. Like Malcolm's is like a little bit cleaner. It's got a little more. You can hear the string noise a little bit better, and Angus has like that. He's got like a little more of a gritty, crunchy sound, and they just blend together perfectly. And once again, I mean, Bon Scott, the lyrics on this song, the way he comes in on it, the out of my way, I'm running high.
Yeah.
And then the interplay between letting him sing his line and the band playing like a little guitar part, it's great. Amazing lead work. I like this song a lot.
Yeah, I agree. I have to agree with you, Liam. This song fucks. Especially the chorus. The chorus, like I was saying earlier, the background vocals, it's like, walk all over you. That, I was like, oh yeah. We're listening to AC/DC right now, baby.
Yeah, I want to walk all over you.
There ain't no forgetting who this motherfucker
Also,
is.
they might be the experts at knowing how to end a song. I mean,
Yeah.
they end it like the same way every time, but I just
I don't
love
know.
every now and then, Bon Scott will just throw in something extra.
Yeah.
And it'll just make it, it'll be like such a memorable ending to a song.
Yeah. I do think vocally he kills it on this
Yeah.
song. Like I said, the entire album, I think he kills it. But this one is really good. He does like a really good like screech, I think, where it's not like, I think Robert Plant does this as well, where it's like they're screaming, but it is not unpleasant. It is not like unpleasant at all.
Yeah, and you can tell that he
knows,
doing this.
yeah.
And he's like actually a legitimately really good singer.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
And you can actually find old videos of Bon Scott before AC/DC, and this will attest to that. He was always a good vocalist. I feel like the goal of AC/DC is to take rock and roll in its simplest form, Chuck Berry, and turn it up maximum volume.
As
and
loud
I think
as
he
can, yeah.
captures that great, especially on this album.
Yeah, I agree.
This album, it feels like everything was even more so on the one than on the ones before this. Like this album, I think is where they found their sound.
I can agree, yeah.
You know, and I'm not saying the other ones didn't sound like AC/DC before, but this one is when it's like it all came together.
Yeah.
And this is the AC/DC sound.
I think the only example of him vocally doing better on a single song, the song "Let There Be Rock,"
Yeah, I mean, he's a great vocal.
is killer. But anyway, no, yeah, I like this song a lot. I mean, let's just say this: what a 3-song run!
Yeah.
Immediately,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So,
Yeah.
what's next?
Touch Too Much.
Touch Too
Much. Man, this is another one where when I was younger, I didn't appreciate this one as much. And this one kind of has a different vibe than any other AC/DC song. It's a bit of a slow builder.
Yeah.
It's a little more melodic, I would say. And I love the way this song builds. The guitars sound really cool. The guitars are a little bit different. Like they're building up so well. Great Bon Scott vocal. And this is a hell of a chorus. I think this song kind of is ahead of its time, too. Like, it sounds like an 80s song.
I agree with that. Especially, yeah, it really does. It really sounds like a Bon Jovi type.
It does, but
thing.
it's so much better than that.
Oh, no, yeah. Let me be very clear. It's better than hair metal.
Yeah.
But, like, especially, again, the background vocals where they just kind of repeat, touch too much. Sounds very, Bon Jovi, Def Leppard, sounds like Bringing On the Heartbreak kind of.
Yeah.
The background vocals. But no, I like this song too. I think it was probably so far my least favorite on the album.
Okay.
But I mean, if you got an 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, and 10 out of 10, and you bring in a 6.5 out of 10, that's still pretty good. It just happens to be the lowest, So I think definitely I would say the low part or point of the album so far. But that doesn't mean it's bad by any stretch of the imagination. I still liked it a lot. It is not a skip.
Yeah.
By any means. It just didn't necessarily do as much for me as the other ones did.
Yeah. One thing I like about this is, like I said, the way it builds and the outro of the song where they're building up into that last chorus section. where he's kind of going back and forth between the background vocals, which I believe is Cliff Williams and Malcolm Young. At least live, that's what they seem to do.
Yeah.
And Bon Scott, he just sells this song so well.
Yeah.
He has so much personality.
He really
ridiculous.
does. Yeah.
It's ridiculous how much personality he has as a vocalist. And I also think that's why it worked when they replaced him with Brian Johnson, because Brian Johnson also was doing, on the Back in Black album, you know, he came in and did like another great vocal performance, but he was a lot more just singing the songs. He didn't try to inject like all this quirky personality that I feel like Bon Scott does. And I think that's, I realized that when listening to this album, I was like, okay. 'Cause, I mean, do they have similar voices? I wouldn't say so, but they have
Not
similar
really.
styles
Yeah.
on what they're doing.
Yeah.
I would, and you know, but I think Brian Johnson, like, just becoming like more just, I'm just the singer. And Angus Young is the front man of AC/DC.
100%. Yeah.
But back in this era, it was definitely more between the two of them.
Yeah.
Like, you really feel Bon Scott's presence when he's in the band.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the next one then?
Beating around the bush.
Beating around the bush. Well, I'll go first, man. This might be the best riff on the album.
Oh yeah.
This is
this
is a crazy riff.
This, Liam, let me just interject real quick.
Yeah.
When people say, "Oh man, this thing fucks," this is the bar for me. This song fucks.
Yeah, it's
dude.
a great
Oh
song.
my god.
This one is another just blistering, like, guitar heavy, great lead work from Angus again. I know I'm repeating myself on a lot of these things, but
That's
when
the
you're
thing
this
about
good of a
AC/DC,
band,
yeah.
but when you're this good of a band, though, it's like everything you touch is just amazing, especially when you're like on such a hot streak.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, of course the guitar solo is going to be good. It's Angus Young. He's one of the best rock guitar
Soloists.
players ever.
Yeah.
So, of course. But, yeah, this riff, man, is ferocious.
Oh yeah. Little CCR, little Southern.
Yeah, it does kind of look. Also, Fleetwood Mac, Oh Well.
Oh, that is true. That's
I
a
wonder
really
if
good.
they were inspired by that, because it is kind of like a faster version
Yeah.
of that.
No. Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, but, man, I'll let you go, because...
Yeah, this song fucks.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This is a really, really good song. This is the song that makes me want to break this pedometer, dude.
Yeah.
Especially, put a cop behind me, there's no way.
Oh, he's not getting to you.
There's no way.
He's not catching up to you. He's just not.
He's not. I'll say, so long, piggy.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, this song, I've always loved this one, too. I mean, what a guitar riff. This is just one of those examples of when in a rock song and a hard rock song where it is just about the guitar riff. Like, the guitar riff dictates how good this song is, and because of how good the riff is, it's a great song.
Yeah.
And I also do like that this song, how fast-paced it is, it's the perfect length.
It is, yeah.
And this is one of their crazier endings where they just start going ridiculous. At the
And
end.
again, going back to, this is what I mean when, like, AC/DC had a formula. Like, they went on, they must have. Because, like, not every song, but, like, a lot of these songs are pretty similar to each other. And that kind of where I think they could catch a little bit of flack. But it's like, I mean, what more do you want? Like all these songs are just, if they're all similar to each other, but they're all badass. Yeah, sweet. Let's do it. You know, like it's not gonna be like, you know, an In Rainbows or something where like you need to like sit down and be like, I wonder, you know, how does this song make me feel? You know, like let's think about the possibilities of what they meant when they wrote this. It's like, no, drink a beer, brother.
Yeah.
Smoke a cigarette. Be a man.
This
is some fucking AC/DC.
I also love that they weren't like big drug guys, AC/DC, but they loved smoking cigarettes and like drinking coffee.
They look like
smoked.
They look like they look like cigarettes.
They just love cigarettes.
Yeah. But I mean, hey, they're with the exception of one, they're all still alive. Well, I guess Bon Scott too. But
yeah, that's true though.
Yeah, they're still doing it.
Yeah, they toured not that long ago.
Whether or not they should,
I've seen videos. I think it's fine that they still are.
I mean, they're making so much money.
I
would if I was them. Who cares, bro?
Yeah, who cares?
Who cares?
That's the thing about them. Is like, do you like AC/DC? Well, they're gonna. I also think they're probably, because we don't know a ton about the guys. They seem like they're also like one of the hardest working bands in show business. Like they seem like they genuinely care about putting on a good show.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I mean, I think like with their. I think the thing about it is there's just so much energy and there's so much like there's like every night that like they kind of have to at this point still like keep that up, even though they're like 80 now or whatever. But like, I mean, yeah, they do seem like they're very.
They also aren't going to be one of those bands that announce a farewell or retirement tour.
Yeah, I feel like they're just
going
to
to randomly stop.
Yeah, I feel like they're just going to
like
stop.
they won't make a big announcement of it. But yeah, now we move on to side 2 of the record, Shot Down in Flames.
Yeah, that was. Let me real quick. The ending of Beating Around the Bush, I forgot to comment on it. Is insane.
Dude, Angus, he starts doing that thing where he slides up on the G string and starts going.
Yeah.
He is like he just digs into that Gibson SG of his like so hard, but he's not really sloppy.
No.
He's a great
He's
guitar
loose
player.
for sure.
Yeah,
but he's not sloppy.
Yeah, he has the ability to like really dig in and get like be so dynamic with his playing that, especially in his solos, obviously. But he's I mean, I remember when I first got into this band, Angus Young was my hero. I mean, he's great, and he even kind of looked like me when I was young.
I didn't want to bring it up.
Dude, there was one picture of Angus Young, and I was like, wait, is that me? I'm not even kidding. When I was a kid, I was like, is that a picture of me? And I was like, no, that's Angus Young. But that's probably not a good thing. But anyway, Shot Down in Flames. This might have my favorite intro on the album, when he just is hitting that D chord down on it, and then you hear someone in the back, I don't know who he was, go, woo! And then you hear Bon Scott do the wow!
Yeah.
I love that. Always have loved that. And then when the bass comes in, he's just driving along in the root notes and moves up.
Yeah.
I also love that this song is about, like, he's like getting rejected by girls at the bar. I think that's awesome. They made a song about that.
Hey, happens to the best of us, brother.
And not to be repetitive, but I don't care. It's a great solo from Angus Young.
Yeah.
I love when he starts off the solos where he's kind of mimicking the melody or the riff, and then he goes into he's such a killer like blues bass player.
Yeah.
He's also king of the pick scrape.
Oh.
No one does pick scrapes better than him.
Yeah.
No one.
Absolutely, 100% agree.
Yeah. What do you think about Shot Down in Flames?
I mean, I agree. This is actually the song. I don't know if you know or not, but when I said earlier, like, of the bass, I'm going to talk a little bit later about the bass. This is the song I was talking about specifically because I fucking love when he was like, and he moved up. I fucking love that, and I know like, again, like my favorite bass players are like Geddy Lee and like Les Claypool and stuff, and they're just like, like insane shit. But like, again, there's something to be said about like doing something so simply and then literally just moving up an octave.
And also the tone is so good.
Yeah.
You don't want a guy like that in AC/DC.
No.
It would literally make it rock less hard.
Yeah, it 100% would. Yeah. And again, no shade to Les Claypool or Geddy Lee. They're again my favorite bass players really ever. But yeah, no, I just like I loved how it really complemented the groove, I think, and the riff and everything very well when he did that. So shout out to the rhythm section at AC/DC. I was expecting nothing coming into this album, but goddamn, I left a fan.
Yeah.
To say the least of the rhythm section. Definitely think there's something to be said about the less is more approach from AC/DC, really as a whole. But specifically from the rhythm section. But it's kind of weird because, like, again, Angus Young and Bon Scott and then later Brian Johnson are so, like, sometimes, like, over the top. Again, in a good way. But, like, they're so just, like, crazy that it's kind of weird that the laid-back, like, rhythm section plays to it so well, like, complements it so well. But they really were, like, the kings of just knowing what sounded good and just sticking to it.
Yeah. I totally agree. And when I was a kid, this was one of my all-time favorite AC/DC songs. I loved this one.
Yeah.
Still do. The next song is Get It Hot.
Yep.
Now, I will say this is maybe the least memorable song on the album for me. But it's still kind of a great rock song. Dude, I love the part. This song is just about, like, having a good time.
Oh, yeah.
Picking up chicks. I love the part where he's talking about drunk driving, basically, which obviously I don't condone that. I'm like, hey, man.
I think it was legal back then. I'm pretty sure it was legal.
Who knows what the fuck happened in Australia?
Yeah, that is true. I didn't even think about that. I mean, even in America, but no, I think you could really just...
He was like, I got a bottle of booze and I'm cruising around. It's a great hook. The band, I will say the band is super locked in on this one, like with the 4 on the floor. Get it hot.
Yeah.
They're really good. They're a good band at listening to one another.
Yeah. Oh,
and,
yeah.
and adjusting.
I think that I mean, you would know this better than me, but that would I would assume just come from playing with each other for however they probably were together for.
Oh yeah, I mean you figured they'd been. I mean their first album was, I want to say their original Australian one was 75. So let's say they were playing since the early 70s, but constantly touring, I'm sure.
And also, fucking two of them are brothers, so
Yeah.
like they grew up together. But that's just pure chemistry. Yeah, no, I do agree. This song was kind of forgettable. There's one more later in the album that I think was more forgettable. We'll get to it, but yeah, no, I still liked it a lot. It is kind of hard to try to find new things to say, to be honest about some of these songs, but I mean, yeah, it just rocked hard. Like it was sick. It was really cool. The rhythm section or the entire band, like you said, was very locked in with each other. But yeah, no, that's kind of all you can say.
Yeah, it's also probably the shortest on the album. But sometimes albums like this, sometimes I don't mind the more filler tracks. Sometimes it kind of adds the vibe.
Yeah, and also I'll say it now. Shout out to AC/DC for making an album 40 minutes. Let's especially like an album like Highway to Hell. It's like, bro, get him in, get him out.
That's what these albums are meant to do.
And God, it's just so nice.
Yeah, it is nice. I mean, that's why the 70s are my favorite album eras. Everyone, you get the double, and I like double albums a lot. I like the experience of a double album. Like when someone
You have to like
the White Album
Yeah.
or Physical Graffiti or The
The
River
Wall.
by Bruce Springsteen, where The Wall, and maybe less so Led Zeppelin, but like these artists with like really they have a lot of things to say, and
Yeah.
you feel like you're getting a real good experience. I say less so Led Zeppelin because they're not like one of those bands where you're like really they're saying these profound things, but they're
Right.
a great band, so of course I want to hear a double album from them. But yeah. I mean, these sorts of albums, I mean, Van Halen, the first few Van Halen albums come to mind. Where it's
get him in, get him out.
Get
bro.
him in, get him out.
Yeah.
Don't overstay your welcome.
Nope.
But the next one is If You Want Blood, You Got It.
If you want blood, you got it.
I knew this song before.
I knew
the
the song
album before. I think it was a good track placement on their part to put this one after Get It Hot, because it kind of is another highlight, in my opinion. This one, If You Want Blood, You Got It. Interestingly enough, their live album that came out the year before this was titled this, which is, by the way, if anyone's into live albums, which I love live albums,
Love a good live album.
killer live album. No Highway to Hell songs, so it's all pretty early AC/DC, but man, it's a great example of how great of a band they were. But anyway, back to the song. Yeah, I think it's a great song, very simple song, killer hook. Another one where the band bit. A lot of these songs on this album, they don't just start with the whole band, but they also find creative ways to build up, and before the vocals and the whole band gets put in. And AC/DC haters will say, "How's that creative?" Well, one thing you gotta remember is they are kind of writing the book on a lot of this.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, I think like a lot of things are like that are considered cliche. It's like it's not cliche for them because they fucking came up with it, which is like says so much because that means that many people copied it to make it cliche.
And I do want to say, of course, there was tons of hard rock bands before this, but I don't really think there was anyone quite like AC/DC before this.
No.
A lot of the hard rock bands were a lot more self-indulgent.
Yeah.
Like, there was no one quite that rocked this hard, I believe.
Yeah.
And I love Sabbath and Zeppelin, but Sabbath and Zeppelin, they're a bit self-indulgent.
Oh, for sure.
At times.
Yeah,
A lot of times.
Yeah, 100%.
AC/DC are not.
Yeah. Again, they just got it pretty much. I think like AC/DC's like career could be summed up with get him in, get him out.
Get them in, get them out.
Like
they knew, but also like that's what makes them so great.
Exactly. No,
Yeah.
that is like the highest compliment I can give.
Yeah.
It's like I love that they did that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great song. Also, I kind of looked up some of the lyric meaning on some of this because I've heard these songs for years, and I do think Bon Scott has some stuff to say. This one, he seems like he's kind of more like, if you want blood, you got it. If you want something, you gotta work for it.
Oh yeah, baby.
Which I can appreciate that message.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What do you think?
Well, I mean, they did the same thing with "It's a Long Way to the Top" if you want to rock and roll.
Yeah. Wow. And that's one of the all-time great
That
lyrics in rock music.
That is one of the all-time great songs, dude.
Oh man. Yeah.
Anytime that you can bring in a bagpipe
I also love that they don't play that song anymore. Brian Johnson's like, I'll never do that song out of respect for Bon Scott.
Good for him, man.
Yeah.
Good for you.
These guys also do seem like such cool dudes.
Yeah. Brian Johnson, friend of the channel.
Oh, I love Brian Johnson. I love his little hat. It's so he looks like a little rascal.
He does.
He looks like,
get out of here, you.
Yeah, he's such a little. He looks like the bully from Christmas Story.
Yeah, you're right. He does.
Yeah, but
like the bully's little sidekick.
Yeah. I love a nice rocker who they're like. He probably just put on that hat one day. He probably like. I guess this is my look. And he's that. There you go.
Do
He
you
also
really
has
think-
a great TV show where he he loves race cars and he like have guests on like he
Oh,
might have
yeah.
visited Robert Plant.
Oh yeah. I've
that's
seen
a
clips
great-
of that.
Yeah. That's great.
All right, what did I think of this song? I liked it. Again, I mean, saying the same thing. I liked it a lot. I really, really liked the when they screamed blood in like the background in the chorus. You know what I'm talking about? Blood on the streets. Blood. I thought that sounded really cool.
They were so good at being like edgy without making. They were kind of like talking about blood. They got the Satan on the cover.
Yeah.
You gotta remember this is 1979.
Right.
It's a much different world.
Yeah.
They were like kind of like cutting edge with being like there's something nasty about these guys.
Have you seen that interview where the reporter's like, some people think that AC/DC stands for Antichrist Devil's Child.
Yeah.
What do you think of that? And he goes, it's electronic.
Yeah, it's literally like an electronic.
It's an electronic because on my sister's sewing machine.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
Also, again, that's how they got their name, is they saw AC/DC on a fucking sewing machine.
Yeah.
Like, that's just, it makes me honestly happy that, like, they're just simple, dude. They're just simple guys.
Yeah.
But they blew, like, they're, like, the biggest rock band ever.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, going back to this song. This was another highlight for me for sure. I did know the song coming in. I liked it a lot coming in, but I like it more now that I like sat down and listened to it. I do think it was really good track placement in terms of where they put it on the album. And I think the last three are really good track placement as well, but I'll get into that a little bit later.
So what the next would be Love Hungry Man?
Love Hungry Man, yeah.
Well, this one, for all the AC/DC haters that shit on the rhythm section, there's a pretty damn funky bass line on this. This is a damn good bass line.
Yeah.
He's getting funky with it. Which makes me think, okay, these guys are the master playing for the song. He was like, you know what would be kind of cool here? Let's try this out.
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
Or he probably just didn't even think of it at all. He's like, oh, this would be a good bass line.
Yeah. I did like this song too. Again, it was kind of forgettable. The bass line was nice. I do understand why you thought I was talking about this song.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were talking about.
And again, it was good.
Yeah.
It was another song that kind of helped me be like, maybe these guys aren't that bad.
Yeah.
But it was kind of a little bit forgettable to me. But I think that is mainly because it was stuck between If You Want Blood and sorry, Leon, I'm gonna steal your thunder on the last song. Stuck between Night Prowler, which is the last song. Oh my god, dude! I fucking love this song.
Yeah.
I love Night Prowler. You can say whatever you want about Love Hungry Man that you want to if you didn't get the chance to say
Well,
it.
I think this is not the most memorable, sure, but I think it's a damn catchy song, and I can appreciate that song a lot.
Oh yeah.
Especially the bass line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Night Prowler, dude.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's about sneaking into your girl's bedroom.
Are you shitting me right now?
Are you kidding me right now?
You go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah. You're a sucker if you.
You're a sucker MC.
You're a sucker MC if you don't like this one.
That it's such a like, oh, dude. Again, like the guitar, it even feels like you're prowling, bro. It feels like a Pink Panther's like.
Dude, they kind of do two types of songs on this album. They do ones that make you want to like just step on the gas and just go nuts and just race cops down the road, chug a beer, punch somebody in the face.
Yeah.
Or they do songs that make you that like a stripper would walk out to.
Oh yeah.
And that is this song.
Oh my god.
Great riff. I love the little breath he takes, and then Malcolm I think comes in with the guitar.
Yeah.
The guitar sounds so good on this song. The rhythm guitar, like I love the quiet verses on this one. Great lyrics from Bon Scott. Great vocals from Bon Scott. But this is to me the Angus Young, his best song on the album.
Yeah, I can understand why you think
he's
that.
really going for it. I think having these slower tempo songs with him, he really lets his blues chops go loose.
Mm-hmm.
But he has such a flair. He hits the guitar so hard. He just has such his own style.
Oh, yeah.
While still playing a lot of the same licks that a lot of other guitar players are playing. But there's no mistaking it's Angus Young.
Nope.
So I like this song a whole lot too.
I like this. What a way to end the album, man.
Yeah, great album closer.
Great album closer. All right, then, well, what do you think about Highway to Hell?
Well, I think it's one of the best hard rock albums ever made.
Also, let me just say this. Killer album name too.
Great album name, and one of the best album covers ever.
I think so. Yeah.
So
like
iconic.
Yeah, that album
So
cover is
simple
iconic.
yet iconic. But
Again,
it's
that's
simple,
what
but it
AC/DC
says so
does.
much.
Is they're simple but badass.
Yeah.
I tend to agree with you, Lee. I think this is probably one of the best hard rock albums I've ever heard. Dare I say one of the best albums I've ever heard? I don't know. And would it make a top 10? Maybe. It might.
Mean, for what it is, I do want to say, what is your final thoughts? By the way, I'm so happy you came along to the rhythm section in this band.
Yeah.
It makes me really happy because I really feel like God, people that shit on me, I feel like you just don't get it. Of course, you all have your own subjective taste for the song.
Right.
They don't suck. They're doing this all on purpose.
So I never thought they sucked.
Right.
I was just like, you can't tell me that there's not one song they made where they couldn't do more than boom, 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 and 4 on the floor. They do. Those songs exist. Like you said, Love Hungry Man, Get It Hot. Like, they're not crazy. They're not breaking the mold or anything like insane, but like, they do like they are doing different things. And if you're talking about drums, brother, try and play Shoot to Thrill on the drums. It's not as easy as you would think.
You gotta be a metronome.
Yeah.
You have to be the guy in the back who's keeping the entire thing. Now, I'm not a drummer. I play a little bit of drums. Would not call myself a drummer if I can play a beat. But yeah, man, it's you gotta be able to hold the entire band together and dictate where everyone's going.
It's not easy, and you, like, especially doing this stuff, it is not easy. But no, I did definitely come around to the rhythm section. We'll send a formal apology to what's his name, Cliff Williams.
Yeah,
Cliff Williams.
By the way, plays COD.
Really?
Yes.
What do you think his highest round of zombies is?
Probably not that. He's old. He can't be
20,
that good at it.
25 maybe?
Yeah. Come on, a lot better than I would be.
Need to pack punch my ray gun.
Yeah.
But, well, I guess we should, before we get into too much of the topics, do you want to give it a rating out of 10?
Well, I just want to say some final thoughts on this AC/DC as a band. Because, first of all, I want to say this. If you're a straight guy and you don't like AC/DC, get your damn testosterone checked. Get your testosterone checked. Honest to God. What is not to like about this? There's not heavy metal. This is just great rock and roll music. I feel it's incredibly accessible to everybody.
You know those like Instagram edits of like masculinity edits where it's just like a bunch of like Star Wars and dinosaurs and race cars?
Yeah.
This is how I feel. That's how I felt listening to this album.
Yeah. And by the way, how damn good are Angus Young and Malcolm Young at the guitar?
I mean, yeah, they're brothers, man.
Yeah. I mean, how good is the guitar playing on this album?
No, it is insane.
Yeah.
It is insane.
Insanely good. I really feel like these guys do not get the credit they're due in a lot of ways. At the same time, sure, they are one of the biggest bands ever, but the posh, snobby type will shit on AC/DC.
The way that they did it, yeah, I agree.
I think there's more to AC/DC than some people give them credit for. I think Bon Scott is, first of all, I agree with you, he's one of my favorite singers ever. I think he's a great singer.
I think he might be number 3 on my list.
Yeah.
Like, I love Bon Scott.
Bon Scott was so good. He is a super underappreciated lyricist. Everything he says, I buy. He sells a lyric better than I think any other rock singer does.
Wow, that's a bold claim, but I think I agree with it.
But I mean, and I'm not saying he's the best ever, but like Robert Plant, he's an amazing vocalist, but he's just kind of saying things. Bon Scott, everything he's writing down, I'm buying from. I'm listening to what this guy has to say.
That's a really good point.
He just sells it so well. They do more. They're a very simple band. And I do think this album, they dumbed down their sound a little more, and this was kind of the trajectory of the rest of their career. Mm-hmm. And I love Let There Be Rock, too, and I really like Power Ridge. I don't know if this is my favorite AC/DC album, because I like Power Ridge a lot. Obviously, you love Back in Black, but they're like Let There Be Rock, there's a lot more extended, like, guitar sections and stuff like that. But this album, they just... It's so great what they were able to do. And Mutt Lange might be the GOAT of this album, though, for the production, because I think that it's a simple production, but it sounds sonically, it is so good. The drums sound great. The bass sounds amazing on this album.
The bass is really good on this album.
The guitar, and everything is laid together so well. And I just want to say, man, rest in peace, Bon Scott. Gone way too soon.
Yep. How old was he? Do you know?
I think probably late 20s, but
That's
gone
too
too
young.
soon,
That
man.
is too young.
Gone too soon. And I think there's something so poetic about this album being his last album.
Oh
it,
my
it
God,
feels
are you
like,
kidding me?
damn, these
Yeah.
guys figured it out.
Yeah.
And also Highway to Hell.
I was about to
obviously.
say the name even Highway to Hell.
It's just like, I mean, and it's amazing what they were able to do after this album too. That they
Yeah.
were able to just continue. And Back in Black is obviously on this list of greatest albums too.
Yeah.
So I don't want to talk too much about Back in Black right now.
Yeah. I'm sure we're gonna talk about it later.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. These guys, I feel like deserve everybody's success they do. I don't. I think they. I briefly mentioned this. I think they took the essence of like Chuck Berry and turned it up to 11. I think that's what AC/DC is, and I think that's what not a lot of people understand about what they're going for.
There was some. I think I read it online or something about drummers. I either read it online or heard it from a teacher. I'm not sure, but about like drummers and like the age-old like debate of who the greatest of all time usually is between Bonham and Neil Peart. And like so the thing online said, well, what Bonham did is he was like, everybody thinks that drummers are just cavemen who bang on rocks with sticks, so I'm going to bang on these rocks with these sticks better than anybody who's ever done it before. But Neil Peart was like, no, drummers can be beautiful, blah, 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 you know, and are very artistic, and so that's what I'm going to do. I feel like AC/DC is very much the John Bonham in that story, where it's like, at this time, they're like, rock is just loud, obnoxious devil worshippers. We hate it. And so like, all right, fuck you. We're gonna make it loud as shit. Highway to Hell. Have Satan on the cover. Angus Young with the devil horns, and it worked. It just fucking worked.
It worked so well.
It worked so well. Like, I think this is just kind of an example of they're not rewriting the wheel or anything, you know.
Yeah.
But they just simply said, all right, we're just gonna do it better than anybody else, and that's kind of what they did.
Yeah. If you haven't listened to AC/DC before and you kind of have a sour thoughts, then just give this album a listen.
Yeah, give it a shot.
I think it might change a lot.
Open mind. Give it a shot with an open mind.
I'm not saying they're going to be, oh, I didn't know they did this type of song, but
Right.
I think if you go into it, you can really appreciate their craft. They're not just a dumb caveman rock band. Even if they were, who cares?
Exactly. That's kind of my point.
The world needs an AC/DC.
Yeah, that's
And
kind of my point.
No one is able to do it better than them. There have
Yeah.
been many people try to copy it, but
Yeah.
it never is as good.
That's my point. Is like, let him be a dumb kid. If you want it, let him. If you think that they are a dumb caveman rock band, tell me why that's wrong.
Tell me why that's wrong. I totally agree, and of course, you know, this band I feel like is important to our lore.
Oh
So
my God!
there's,
Yeah,
I'm sure, some
maybe the
personal
most,
biases.
maybe the most
Yeah.
important outside of maybe like Led Zeppelin.
Right.
But you know, there is one thing I hate. I hate that people say Taylor Swift can do this.
Oh my God, Taylor Swift could never.
Taylor Swift.
She could never write a riff like
Taylor
Beating
Swift
Around the
could
Bush.
never.
And you know what? I'm tired of her saying she can.
I'm tired of her. Yeah, it's not just her fans. It's her.
Yeah, she
She
says
says
she can.
she can hit a high note like Bon Scott.
Oh my God, no.
Yeah, in your dreams, sister.
Yeah, in your dreams.
Good luck.
So, I was on the fence about this one. There is one problem I have with this album, and it's a nitpick. Side 1 is 5 amazing songs, in my opinion. I do think if they opened with Walk All Over You and then did Highway to Hell, it would have been. I think Walk All Over You, it just sounds like such an album opener.
Yeah.
But then again, Highway to Hell is a classic, but I think it would have been better to go Walk All Over You into Highway to Hell.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only nitpick I have.
So do you want to do?
Well, let's start favorite and least favorite.
Okay, favorite. I don't know how you can not say it. I mean, Highway to Hell is an all-time song.
Yeah.
Um,
That's your favorite?
I really have a hard time saying it is just because it's so cliche, but like, god damn.
I thought you were
know
going to say
what?
Night Prowler.
I like Night. It was usually. But how about this? I'll say one that I didn't know going in. And that would be Beating Around the Bush.
Yeah, it's a great one.
Beating Around the Bush is unbelievable.
Is currently your favorite?
I'll say is my favorite. Again, Highway to Hell, like, that's hard. That's a really hard song to top. So 1A, 1B. I'll say Highway to Hell and Beating Around the Bush.
And your least favorite?
Let me look at the track list again. Where's my phone? Let me say. I really I liked all of them. I really did. I'll say, I guess, maybe Get It Hot or Love Hungry Man.
Yeah, fair enough.
But I don't even want to say like they're my least favorite. They're just like, I guess, my least favorite.
Yeah.
I do not dislike them in any way, shape, or form.
My favorite. This is hard because I love a lot of this album a lot, and it could play around, move around. But dude, I really like Touch Too Much. I think that's a very slept on AC/DC song.
Yeah.
And a little bit different from what they usually do. Least favorite, I'd have to go Get It Hot, although there's nothing wrong with Get It Hot.
There's nothing
wrong with
that.
it.
There's nothing wrong
So,
with that.
final rating out of 10, I was on the fence about it, but I think now I gotta give it a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with this album.
Yeah.
It's a perfect album.
Similarly to what I said about In Rainbows, if this ain't a 10 out of 10 album,
Then what the hell is a 10?
I don't know what is.
What the hell is a 10 out of
I
10?
really don't know what a 10 out of 10 album is if this is not a 10 out of 10 album. Like, for a very different reason than In Rainbows.
Of course.
I still would probably say I like In Rainbows a little bit more, but
Depends on my mood for me.
I guess it depends on my mood. If it's like you said, if it's like June or July, this is 100%.
Yeah.
This is it. But I guess now where it's like a little colder, a little rainy all day, everybody's kind of just fucking depressed all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, put on In Rainbows. But no, I think having so far, this is our 6th episode of this series, having In Rainbows and Highway to Hell is our only 10 out of 10 so far. That's a fucking good list right there.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so do you think this album is underrated, or properly rated?
I don't know how, but I think I'm going to say it's underrated.
I'm going to pause real quick. I got a piece of that.
All right.
I don't want to cut the conversation short. Anyway.
What did I say? I forgot what I was.
You were saying you think it might be a bit underrated, this album.
I do think, I don't know how. Because, this is, considered to be one of the, certainly one of the most famous albums of all time. But I think in certain ways it's underrated. Because I think people don't necessarily, like you said, there are plenty of AC/DC haters just like, oh, it's just 4 on the floor, banging drums, blah, blah, blah. It's like, again, tell me why that's wrong. Tell me why that's a bad thing. Yeah. If you think that.
It's like, do you not like that?
Yeah, do you not like banging music?
I just don't understand what's not to like about this band.
Yeah.
I mean, unless maybe you hate the vocals, maybe.
But
I think Bon Scott's a phenomenal singer.
I agree.
I think if you don't think you can sing, I think you're wrong. I think he was an incredible singer.
I think that is a valid type of singing. I think people maybe just think he was just screaming.
But he's not, is the thing. You're wrong.
He's not, yeah.
He's got excellent delivery. He knows exactly what to do, when to do it. Look, you will always hear this album as one of the greatest rock albums of all time. But I might agree with you, Jack. I think this album is underrated in a lot of respects because it is just so good at what it does. And I think that thing that they're doing, which is just good old-fashioned rock and roll, it's hard rock because of how loud they're playing it and the ferocity of what they're playing it. I think there's something to be said about that. And, of course, this means a lot to me. I think the collection of songs on it, though, are just so good. The performances are just so good. There's not a bad second of the album. I think this is could this be a top 10 album of all time?
Why not?
Yeah, dude, it could. I mean, dude,
why not?
It might be the best hard rock album of all time. You know what could possibly also give it a run for its money, though? Is Back in Black, which is also by AC/DC.
Mm-hmm.
So, with a different singer.
What a 2-album run.
What a 2-album run. And you know what? They have a lot of good albums. Basically, all the Bon Scott ones are pretty good, and the first few Brian Johnson ones are also really good. But, yeah, there is something different about Highway to Hell than the other Bon Scott albums. There is something, like I said, you said it's not your favorite, not to spoil anything if we ever do the other video series that we don't talk about on here.
Yeah, we're not allowed to contractually.
Yeah, not to spoil anything on that, but, yeah, dude, there's something different about this. There's just the Bon Scott, this being his, last hurrah, and it just seemed like he was just so good. There was no sign of him stopping when you listen to this album.
Yeah.
And he died. And it's horrible. And it's very sad.
Very sad.
And also, rest in peace, Malcolm Young, too.
Rest in peace, Malcolm Young.
More recently, but...
He did. We were in a band at that time.
Yeah. He might be the best rhythm guitar player ever.
Yeah.
I mean, who's better than him?
Ron Wood, maybe?
Yeah, someone But it's just so different because...
Yeah.
Malcolm Young was just all about... He was like the second drummer, basically.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, but... Any closing thoughts?
Not really, no. Shout out to CPH. Couldn't be here today.
I wonder what he thought about this one.
I know. I was interested to hear his
I was
thoughts.
interested to hear his thoughts. But yeah.
Because he's never given an album a 10 out of 10 on this.
Did he give it Mary Rose a 10?
No, I think he gave like 8 or 8.5.
Okay.
He's a hard man to please.
Yeah.
We'll have to ask him about
Call
it on the
him
next
right now.
episode. No.
You don't want to give his final opinion?
Where's my phone? Hold on. Let's see if he answers.
Your call has
Wow.
been
There he
forwarded
goes.
to voicemail.
I'm leaving a
The
voicemail.
person you're trying to reach is not available.
It's
At the
not
tone,
available.
please
What's
record
he
your
doing?
message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up.
Hi, CP. It's your friend Jack.
And your big brother Lee.
We were just giving you a call because we're finishing up the Highway to Hell video right now, and we just wanted to see what your final ranking of that album was. Just curious. It's okay. I hope everything goes wonderful for you, and I hope you have a very happy Thanksgiving. Bye.
That's a great voicemail.
I wanted to try and sound as much like AI as possible.
I think you did a good job.
Thank
But
you.
yeah, my final thoughts on this album is it's great. Love AC/DC. They're a bit underappreciated in what they're able to do and the power of what they do. And this was a very fun listen for me.
I agree. I agree.
Next album we're doing is our first hip hop album.
Oops.
The Message by Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five.
Never heard. I don't believe any song off of it.
I think you probably know The Message. Once you hear it, you'll be like,
Oh,
oh,
maybe.
this song.
Maybe.
But it's also is like one of the first hip hop albums. So I think that's kind of cool that
I'm excited.
our first hip hop album.
I do
is
like listening to different genres.
Yeah, me too. I think it's cool that there's a lot of hip hop albums on here, but the first one we're doing is like the
An
origins.
OG one.
Yeah, I think that's cool. So tune in next week. Have a good Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.